Most surfers think of Oahu's North Shore when they dream of perfect waves, and the drive towards Haleiwa is always filled with anticipation. The North Shore has changed dramatically in the past 10 years, and this sequence highlights some of the people and waves that make it so unique.
No life for living when there's no time for giving. No sign of loving in this age of push and shoving. Another boy with a broken heart. Can't you see the pressure tearing me apart? Oh, there's so much for me to overcome. Should I stay and fight? But where else is there I can run? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. No life for living when there's no time for giving. No reassuring can end what I'm enduring. I'm looking hard for the slightest sign. Hear your words echoing around my mind. I'm starting to believe what the papers say. Get one more blow, and I'm reeling from here on away. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way. And if you open your eyes, you know there is so much you can do. Oh, if you open your eyes, you make 1,000 wishes come true. Well, this must be one of the troubles of a living in forgotten time. In forgotten time. Don't get me wrong. In the hollow where the ringing of the chips are down. Life for living when there's no time for giving. No reassuring can end what I'm enduring. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way I can get up. How can I get up? There's no way. And if you open your eyes, you know there is so much you can do. Or if you open your eyes, you make 1,000 wishes come true. Well, this must be one of the troubles of a living in forgotten time. In forgotten time. Don't get me wrong. In the hollow was a ringing of the chips are down. This must be one of the troubles of a living in forgotten time. In forgotten time. Don't get me wrong. In the hollow was a ringing of the chips are down. This must be one of the troubles of a living in forgotten time. Don't get me wrong. In the hollow was a ringing of the chips are down. This must be one of the troubles of a living in forgotten time. This must be one of the troubles of a living in forgotten time.
If we are to understand where we are headed in surfing, we must never forget where we have been. The 80s was a decade of radical change in our sport, and perhaps the most revolutionary rider of them all was a young Hawaiian surfer called Montgomery Kaluhiokalani, better known as Buttons. shown here switching stance on a single fin board sometime in early February 1979, Buttons simply had more tricks up his sleeve than you could care to imagine. On a classic June day at Velzyland in 1980, Buttons put on a display of creative surfing that I have never seen duplicated. Buttons' repertoire wasn't limited to small waves, and nothing suited him better than a heavy sandbar day at Pupukea Beach Park or Eakai. Buttons surfing in the late 70s broke free of surfing's rigid rules and created a radical new outlook at what would be possible in the future. Approaching 1990, Buttons' contribution to progressive surfing seems all the more obvious. The east coast of Australia doesn't have too many left point breaks, but it does feature some of the best right-handers to be found anywhere on Earth. When Hurricane Bola struck the coast of Queensland last March, it produced some of the wildest waves ever ridden along the Gold Coast. The Kirra Team Challenge caught the best swell ever for its main event. The controversy surrounding a future marina project at Kirra still exists, and a vigilant group of surfers monitor all proposals. Long live Kirra. Following Hurricane Bola down the coast, we found excellent waves just south of Sydney at a spot called Pelican Point. Simon Law and Vatea David showed up right on time, and the waves were epic.
In a blinding flash, I see the years go by. Memories twisted around somebody's finger. Behind me now, oh, but I still remember. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Do you see Richie's light is shining hotter than the sun. Looking for someone in a suburb that I know, but I wasn't around for long. I had somewhere else to go. So do you see what I see? 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 I see the safest place around in that suburb down below. My hands are empty now, and I'm waving as I go. Oh, you were gone for a little while. Was a fine, fine line between first and second thoughts. We left them all behind. Now we barely falter. Now the long drive has begun. North to the ocean, hotter than the sun. So do you see what I see? 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 I see the safest place around in that suburb down below. But my hands are empty now, and I'm laughing as I go. Do you remember? I said, do you remember? I said, do you remember? Do you remember?
California's resident wildman Richie Collins is now a top 16 pro, and his sights are set firmly at the top of the class.
You know the latest fashion. You know the latest brand. You know you bore me stupid with your growing economic plans. You know all the right people. You know just what to wear. You know you're a younger but professional. You know I just couldn't care. Diabita. 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 Yeah. Live your life on a good weekend. Come on, money that you can spend. You drive a foreign car, double park at the neon bar. Only drink imported beer. Tastes like the pits, but at least it's there. Oh, when mobility's redefined, you've got a tan, but the sun don't shine. Diabita. 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 Yeah. Woo. You know the latest fashion. You know the latest brand. You know you bore me witless with the growing economic plans. You know all the right people. You know just what to wear. You know you're a younger but professional. You know I just
Richie has proven, despite his critics, that if you're totally committed, you can achieve your goals. Once called Arma Hut to help keep it a secret, Rocky Point is now the #1 gathering place on the North Shore for young rippers from around the world. Martin Potter has been a top 16 member of the ASP for 8 consecutive years and although he has never placed higher than 5th, he was currently ranked #1 on the ASP Tour in April of '89. Potter's surfing is a perfect blend of animal aggression and fluid drive. Once thought of as being far too radical in contests, Potter has now curbed his excesses and seems determined to prove that he has what it takes to be a world champion. Tom Carroll is currently setting the standard for high-performance surfing all over the world. His gutsy decision to pass up the South African leg of the Pro Tour may have cost him last year's world title.
I've been a lifetime running, looking over my shoulder, and everyone along the way was trying to calm me down. I was almost a believer. I thought my time had come to sit down and behave myself. I thought the old man had won. Out in the living daylight, out in the living daylight, into the living daylight, out in the living daylight. But I've been all around the world, and I've seen poverty and war. The whole thing is still out there, and it's too small to ignore.
Tom pioneered the use of protective headgear at Big Pipeline, and this winter he got plenty of opportunities to test out his new helmet.
I make out, I'm gonna go forever. Things are picking up around here. Yeah. Now the feet won't touch the ground as the years go by. Give me a simple explanation. All I want to reply into the living daylight, into the living daylight, out in the living daylight, out in the living daylight.
Tom Curren deciding to sit out part of the 1989 season, surfing's most dynamic performer will surely miss his most worthy adversary.
What I feel is what I know. I'm going round the long way again. The night's not too far to go. Out in the living daylight. Out in the living daylight. Oh, well, there I was in the middle of nothing. Red hot, nothing all around. I got the girl by the knees, put my head in the dirt. I lift out and kiss the ground. Living daylight. Out in the living
I used to wake in the afternoon when the sunshine finally cut through the haze. I really don't remember that much, I just know I wasted 1,000 days.
We need protection from this infection, something to ease this cruel disease. A ray of hope and a new direction. I call to you and you rescue me. 'Cause when you're around, I feel like I'm born again. I'm through going down, and you have a better friend.
The first thing you notice about Puerto Rico is that it's a perfect blend of equal parts Mexico, Hawaii, and California. Wilderness is the most accessible break near Ramey Air Force Base, and it was a pretty fun wave to practice on for the upcoming PSAA Pro-Am contest nearby.
Left to give.
But we can do without the reprobation. Let's try some love and some sanity. I know there's thousands all over the nation. I thank the Lord that you rescued me. 'Cause when you're around, I feel like I'm born again. I'm through going down. With you, I have a better friend. Oh, better friend. Feel like I'm born again, yeah. I got this feeling I'm born in the afternoon when the sunshine finally cut through the haze. I really don't remember that much, I just know I wasted 1,000 days. We need protection from this infection, something to ease this cruel disease. A ray of hope and a new direction. I thank the Lord that you rescued me. 'Cause when you're around, I feel like I'm born again. I'm through going down, and you have a better friend. 'Cause when you're around, I feel like I'm born again. I'm through going down, and you have a better friend. Oh, better friend.
Upon arriving in Puerto Rico, we were assured we would find comfortable lodging in an old Army barrack. Little did we know what lay in store for us. The rooms were spacious, the air conditioning at its finest, but the maids seemed to have taken a day off the whole week we were there. Someone said the place was haunted, but no way were any of us afraid of ghosts. Actually, the real rooms were fairly comfortable, and the boys were always glad to be woken up for an early morning surf check. The Budweiser Puerto Rico Challenge marked the first time a PSAA professional surfing contest had been held outside the continental United States. The Bud Pro Surfing Tour of 1989 launched its first contest at Hobos Beach. Hobos is a small cove which offers spectators an excellent view of the action, no matter where you sit. Hawaiian Todd Mitsui took advantage of Hobos' long walls to rack up some high-scoring rides. One of Puerto Rico's top competitors is tall, lanky Alberto Licha. One of the newest competing members of the McNulty dynasty is Joe McNulty, who is keeping the family tradition alive and his brothers on their toes. Trevor Christ is a true surfing maniac, and his backside arsenal is an inspiration to grommets everywhere. Peter Mell from Santa Cruz turned a lot of heads with his big wave savvy this winter on the North Shore, and he proved equally adept in Puerto Rico. Mike Lambrisi has won the PSAA crown 2 years in a row, and he seems eager to make it a trifecta. Doug Silva is so confident that he's always willing to try something new. Dino Andino has become a major threat in every contest he enters, and he was a surprising early elimination in the Puerto Rico Challenge. Rick Lash from Del Mar, California was right in tune. By the main event, it was obvious that Hobos Beach was the happening place on the island. Hawaiian Todd Chesser was an absolute smash in Puerto Rico, progressing through the trials all the way to the final. Todd has no sponsors and was riding a board shaped by his girlfriend's father. Early the next morning, the crowds really hit. Several spectators had to be hospitalized when waves swept them off the rock ledge. Outside in the lineup, things weren't much better as onshore gales blew the waves into a frenzy. Only Mike Lambrisi seemed able to figure out the shifting peaks, and he started the Bud Pro Surfing Tour of '89 right where he left off, in first place. The morning after the contest ended, none of us were eager to fly back to California. Those of us heading to Santa Cruz reckoned it was like jumping from the frying pan into the freezer. The 1989 O'Neill Pepsi Classic, better known as the Cold Water Classic, truly lived up to its reputation. It was bloody freezing. The water was 49 degrees and the air was in the mid-50s when the contest got underway in early March. This was, without a doubt, the most organized contest ever held in California, and its $80,000 purse the richest to date here. Steamer Lane was once again the venue for the event, and it offers excellent views of the action from the steep cliffs. Santa Cruz is a very popular surfing area, and everyone was out practicing as soon as the afternoon heats were finished. The first round of the main event began on a beautiful sunny morning, and the small surf steadily increased throughout the day. Newcastle's Luke Egan was out for an early serve, and so was one of Down Under's heaviest competitors, Bryce Ellis from Avoca Beach. Santa Cruz is perhaps the most enjoyable beach town in California, with its great scenery and down-home atmosphere. This year's O'Neill Pepsi Classic had contestants from 6 different countries. Robbie Page was a shock early round elimination despite an impressive performance. Luke Egan is currently the hottest young Aussie on the ASP Tour, and he is likely to gain a top 16 berth later this year. Mike Lambrisi did just what he needed to milk every ounce of juice from Steamer Lane's mushy, high-tide walls. Some of the better waves of the morning were breaking further down the beach, away from the contest area, and Chris Brown and Jeff Booth had it all to themselves. South African Justin Strong put on a good showing against Jeff Booth, but didn't quite advance. Ross Clark Jones surfed brilliantly in his first round heat, but failed to get a strong fourth wave. The judges seemed to prefer Dave Parmenter's smooth cutbacks over John Shimooka's staccato slashing, and Parmenter progressed. Matt Archbold threw caution to the wind against Brian McNulty and won out. The best heat of the day featured Tahiti's great rising star, Vatea David, against California's Chewy Reyna. With low tide conditions and an increasing swell, both surfers were carving. Santa Cruz has always accommodated a wide variety of lifestyles. Chewy had the set waves come his way, and he fully exploited this advantage. A determined George Hulse narrowly defeated an in-form Gary Clisby. Western Australia's Matt Branson had his work cut out for him against Brazil's Fabio Gouveia, and Matt got some of the best waves of the contest to perform on. Throughout round one, many of the riders had given world-class performances, and we had yet to see any of the top 16. Only in America will you see one man venting his bottomless rage at an entire surfing subculture. This guy's a regular equal opportunity hater, and his multimedia message is always the same. Wouldn't it be great if we could go back 20 years in time and get cosmic? Keep dreaming, buddy. It's refreshing to see that professional surfers are becoming far more serious in their attitude. As round one got underway, Todd Holland showed the same aggressiveness at Steamer Lane that he displayed in the Billabong Pro, and he knocked out Jeff Booth.
I am I, she is she, you are you, and we are we, I say. I feel young today. This is this, that is that, convicted by the truth in a second flat, I say. I feel young today.
A mighty strange heat was shaping up when Jim Hogan surfed against his close friend and bitter rival, Martin Potter. Hogan put on a dazzling display of fluid dynamics, but somehow the judges didn't seem to appreciate his act. That all Santa Cruz was waiting to see was up next. Last year's cold water champion, Richie Collins, known also as Skeletor for his wild buzzsawed haircuts. Gary Elkerton was a case study in concentration, preparing for his match against an anxious Mike Lambrisi.
These are easy days, but his knees ache in the morning. Mountain water on his skin, and his bald head under. Throw the kettle on the stove, the old man's coughing out the back. Wild mint all around, and he still can't get the car started. Now there's 30 years of dust. He's got a chain to smoke his chest, and he said he always knew. Well, he knew what was best, and the spirit of this place is in the lines of the old man's face. Bail out back in Bendigo, dreaming again. Well, everything that's been is what is still to come, and everything that's done is gonna be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Now I'm sitting on the back step, looking at the paddocks all around. Blue mountains far away, and the blue sky coming down. Say, hey,
Richie Collins' hopes of repeating as cold water champion were dashed by a relentless Bryce Ellis.
There's somewhere, and I still have to shout. Now there's 30 years of dust. He's got a chain, smoke his chest, and he said he always knew. He knew what was best. Oh, the spirit of this place is in the smile on the old man's face. Well, I'm back and ready to go. Dreaming again. And everything that's been is what is still to come. And everything that's done is gonna be done. And there's nothing new under the sun. Well, everything that's been is what is still to come. And everything that's done is gonna be done. And there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, someone else is gonna learn.
Brad Gerlach's early morning quarterfinal matchup against Mike Lambrisi suffered from miserable conditions, and both surfers found it difficult to catch the required 4 waves. Martin Potter was seemingly unstoppable, and even Marty Thomas's best moves weren't enough to slow Potts down. The crowd for the final morning was enormous, and Brad Gerlach and Martin Potter were popular choices for the final. Potter's first ride got everybody hooting, and it was obvious that Brad needed some major maneuvers to stay in contention. Martin's wave judgment was faultless, and he combined this with devastating form and length of ride to make it a runaway. As the senior O'Neill looked on, we were treated to a disgusting display of female flesh as we waited for the finalists to take the stage. And sure enough, Martin Potter was declared the victor, and 3 weeks later he went on to record his second victory of the new year, the Bells Beach Easter Classic, in the equally chilly waters of Victoria, Australia. We left Santa Cruz thinking of warmer climates and friendlier natives. Matt Archbold is quite likely the most radical surfer on the planet, and he found Log Cabin's punchy beach breaks the perfect launching pad for his aerial assaults.
lonely for a while. I thought some people should never smile. I thought, what a spot you put her in. But the realness of each answer was put in question by each grin. It was a goodbye off of television. You talk full and fast with no seams of indecision. Full and fast, your defense against her grief. If your mind was on a mission, it was a mission of relief. And oh, you're out following every finger. Oh, to steal her down, but still it linger. You just have to be an animal to hear her overtones. Through the letters and through the phones. You've been on that trail like a cause of birth. Not to have what you track down, but to find out what it's worth. Oh, even big girls cry. You kept everything so clean, all that soap hurts her eyes. You kept everything so clean, it might have slipped your mind. The nut was small, but the knot was tight. And oh, you're out following every finger. Oh, to steal her down, but still it linger. You just have to be an animal to feel her overtones. Through the letters and through the phones. You've been on that trail like a cause of birth. Not to have what you track down, but to find out what it's worth. And it's so tough keeping every time fair. Just to love once without having to care. Just to love once without cracking the spell. Then relaxing into a pleasure that you know so well. And oh, you're out following every finger. Oh, to steal her down, but still it linger. You just have to be an animal to hear her overtones. Through the letters and through the phones. You've been on that trail. Oh, you've been on that trail. You've been on that trail since you were born. Not to have what you track down, but to find out how it's worn. fall. You will laugh, and you'll know that I was wrong. Be prepared, 'cause here it comes. Give it everything you've got. Yeah, this is it. And like I said, it's in your thoughts, it's on your mind, it's in your head. I don't know. Sometimes I just can't believe my eyes. The things I see, things that really mean the world to me, just falling down. And I wonder, how long will it last? I don't know. All I know, we have got to do our best. So think ahead and watch your step and do your best. Make the most of every chance that you can get. It's in your thoughts, it's on your mind, it's in your head. Here it comes, give it everything you've got. Yeah, this is it, and like I said, it's in your thoughts, it's on your mind, it's in your head. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. When you see a little baby sitting on his mother's lap, it's just the beginning of a thing called a generation gap. It's not the difference of age now, everybody's talking about. It's all those no-nos that make up the generation gap. Well, the grown-ups go out now, they go to parties and get stoned, but that's something they don't talk about in front of the children at home. But they ain't fooling anybody now, 'cause those kids are gonna find it out. It's just another reason for a thing called a generation gap. Well, the generation gap is a mighty, mighty big hole, and you ain't gonna fill it up with all those lies that's being told. Wah, 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 wah. You better shut your trap if you expect to narrow the generation gap. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Preacher says drinking is a sin that we'll have to pay for.
Tom Curren is obviously one of the classiest acts around, but seeing as how Curren is usually harder to find than a snowball in a blizzard, I decided to film a person who has been greatly influenced by Curren's style, Japan's Shuji Kasuya.
Generation gap. The generation gap is a mighty, mighty big hole, and you ain't gonna fill up with all those lies that's being told. Wah, 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 wah. You better shut your trap if you wanna help to close that generation gap. Wah, wah.
This winter, Shuji took first place honors at the Mabo Surf Classic in clean 6-foot Haleiwa waves. The reason you don't hear Shuji's name very often outside of Japan is because he's quit the ASP Tour to pursue a career as one of Japan's most sought-after models.
The generation gap is a mighty, mighty big hole, and you ain't gonna fill it up with all those lies that's being told. Wah, 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 wah. You better bump your lip, or else you're gonna lose yourself on your own generation trip. Wah, 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 wah. 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 Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah,
Pipeline's been called awesome and ugly. beautiful, and disgusting, but without a doubt, it's the most challenging wave anywhere in the world. Whatever you call it, it's big and round and loves to gobble you up.
My overcoat is hung, and I'm too far gone to see. And the last string spell is wrong. You can carry me, carry me. Carry me, push me through the door. Shovel me up when I'm sinking to this tear-stained floor. Carry me, carry me. Sometimes I go over the bar I'll go. Sometimes the pole is only 1 inch short. And sometimes I go over and you get me on a barrel. And your careful hands, your loving hands get caught. So carry me, carry me. I'm not sorry if I showed you how to lift this truck up off the ground. I'm not sorry if I moved 10 tons or more. I'm not sorry if I showed you how to wriggle round and round, as long as you could push me through the door. So when my overcoat is hung and I'm too far gone to see, and the last string spell is wrong, you can carry me, carry me.
Australia's Simon Law is one of surfing's most dynamic performers, and he's gaining worldwide notoriety for his flashy roundhouse cutbacks. Simon is a man of the future who pushes himself to the limit. Brad Gerlach, like Simon Law, has been one of the most adventurous stylists in pro surfing. Shown here with his full winter quiver, Brad attacks a few right-handers in his own backyard. Always on the edge, Gerlach wants his surfing to be constantly improving, and it's his spontaneity that has made him a solid top 10 professional. Surfing on an amazingly uncrowded day this past January at Off the Wall, Brad and his good friend Marty Thomas enjoyed a few choice barrels. Surfing means many things to different people. For some, it's a sport. For others, an occupation. And for some people, like myself, it's a lifetime obsession. Whatever it means to you, hang in there. It makes life well worth living.